Have you ever gone on a trip with someone and came back realizing you don't want them in your life? Yeah, that happened to me. So, in today's episode, we're talking about what happens when travel becomes a test, how to protect your peace, and why it's okay to walk away from people who drain your energy, even if you once called them friend. Hey, self care warriors, welcome back to Hold My Purse. I'm Ro, and this is the space where we put ourselves first unapologetically. Every other week, we slow down, we tap in, and we talk all things self care and self love and what it means to honor yourself in a world that often asks you not to. So if this resonates with you, go ahead and hit that subscribe because I got you. And together, we're going to live our best lives from the inside out. As you listen to today's episode, carry this journal prompt with you. What part of me is asking to be seen, heard, or held right now? You, my friends, you are exactly where you need to be. Let's get into it. So, I have got a story for you. I went on an extended vacation with a friend, and let's just say in love, as Michael Jackson would put it. Within 48 hours, I knew I did not want to be around her anymore. Now, let me be clear, she is not a bad person, but there was this undertone to her that just rubbed me the wrong way. At times, she came off as selfish and inconsiderate, and I don't like that kind of shit. Like, for instance, she and I were going out to eat. I don't eat meat, so she wanted to go to KFC. Now, mind you, we're in Europe, but okay, whatever. She wanted to go to KFC. I'm trying to find me some pizza. So I said, I am going to go down the street to the pizza place we passed. And she said she was going to hit KFC. I said, okay, bet. I will come back to you when I get my food because the KFC line was really long. So I went and got my food, came back to her. And as I walk up to the counter, she was starting to order. And I'm standing there and she proceeds to ask like 14 questions. Like all this time she hadn't even seen the menu. I have been gone, got my food and back, and all this time you didn't read the menu. Now, at the same token, it's freaking chicken. It's the same menu pretty much that we have in the States. And when I tell you the people in line were so freaking irritated. So after she got her food and we were walking, to go catch the bus, I said to her, I said, why did you have so many questions after being in line all that time? You didn't know what you wanted? It's a standard menu. Like, help me understand that. And she said to me, well, I do what I want to do. I was like, okay, I got you. And then there was the luggage situation. I had a I had a big suitcase. Now, mind you, note to self, never travel through Europe with a big suitcase. Number one, there's a bunch of stairs, there's a lot of walking, and honestly, you don't need that much stuff. But I need options, so sister overpacked. But she insisted on taking the freaking bus. Let's explore. And I'm like, girl, do you see this big suitcase I have? And it was like no care, no consideration. It just gave off, it's only about me vibe. And again, I did not like that at all. By day two, I started doing my own thing. And honestly, that was the best part of the trip. I walked everywhere. I took a cooking class. I linked up with a friend of a friend who happened to live there. I did some shopping, turned on Bumble, went on a date, and yes, I was safe. I was in an open area, but it was probably one of the best dates I've ever had, best first dates, because he gave me an absolute tour of the city that, if I had to pay for it, it probably would have cost a couple $100. But anyways, I digress. I hit the club. I caught a street party. And yeah, I just kind of did me. But here's the real talk. Since we got back, I have been avoiding her. Every time her name pops up on my phone, my gut says, nope, not today. And it's not just, irritation is something deeper. It's a visceral reaction, like my body saying this energy is not aligned. So I started asking myself, what happens when a trip shows you the truth? What do you do when you realize you've outgrown someone? And what does it look like to honor your peace, even when it means letting go? And that brings me to today's conversation. Travel isn't just about rest, it can be a truth teller. Vacations strip away all the distractions. There's no work, no routines, no solo downtime to hide behind. It's just you and them, raw, real, and unscripted. And that's when you see things you might otherwise miss. How do they handle stress? Whether they listen, compromise, or bulldoze. If their energy uplifts you or if it drains the freaking life out of you. Travel amplifies what's real. Some truths are beautiful, others uncomfortable, but all of them are invaluable. Because when you're thousands of miles away from home, the only distance that really matters is between the hearts. So we've talked about how travel can be a truth teller, showing us the things that we might otherwise overlook about ourselves and the people we're with. But sometimes it's not just about noticing a few red flags. Sometimes it's about recognizing when someone's energy is doing more harm than good. Now, let's dive into something that might feel familiar to you, especially if you've had moments where you weren't sure if you were just annoyed or if something deeper was going on. You see, it's easy to dismiss those feelings, right? But here's the truth. When someone's energy is draining you, it's not just a passing irritation. It can start to seep into your life, into your spirit. So, how do you know if you're being drained? Let's break it down. You're not sure if you're just annoyed or if it's something deeper. Here are a few signs you might be drained. You feel lighter when they're not around. You dread their texts or invites, my friend. You shrink or get easily irritated in their presence. You're consistently compromising your needs and comfort. Let me say this like clearly. You're not wrong for feeling this, and you don't owe anyone your energy just because you used to vibe. So now that we've identified what being drained looks like, the next step is figuring out what to do about it, especially when you come back from an experience and realize you've kind of changed. Maybe you've recognized that some relationships just aren't serving you anymore. And it's not always about cutting people out in a dramatic way. Sometimes it's about just simply setting boundaries that allow you to protect your peace without feeling guilty. And here's the thing. You don't have to ghost people, but you also don't owe anyone a lengthy explanation for why you need space. So let's talk about how to handle that. And here's the truth. If someone is no longer a match for your energy, the energy that you need, that's okay. You still honor them from a distance. You don't have to ghost people, but you also don't owe everyone an explanation. If it's someone you still care about, you could say, for instance, that trip made me realize I need a different kind of energy around me. Right now, I'm focusing on my peace. But if you are done, if you are really done in silence, that's a complete sentence. Don't hold on to someone just because you once loved who they used to be. Now we've talked about boundaries, about cutting ties or shifting the energy you allow into your life. But sometimes, even after we've made those changes, we're still carrying around the weight of frustration and resentment. And let's be real, those feelings can stick with us, they can linger. I know mine was lingering in the background for a long time. So what happens when you're still holding on to that trigger, that frustration? It's time to do a self-care check-in, because it's one thing to let go of a relationship, but it's another to release the emotional baggage that comes with it. So let's talk about how to clear that energy for good. Here's what you can do to release that energy and move forward with peace. Number one, you can journal. Write it all out, the pettiness, the pain, and be unfiltered and be honest. 2, an energetic release. You can light a candle. You can say it out loud. I release this energy. I choose peace. Number 3, you can reframe. You can reframe the experience. Reframing is one of my favorite things to do. I try to flip it in my head so that I can move forward in a more mature way. So instead of saying, I hated that trip, you could say something like, that trip showed me what I no longer want in my life. Another thing that I like to do is write down what I want to release energetically. So I'll write it down on a piece of paper, I'll fold it up, and I'll say something like, I release this energy. It no longer serves me. I no longer want it in my life, and I burn it. And it has worked for me. So give that a try. One of the things that I really have realized is that growth doesn't always feel like a win. Sometimes it just feels like clarity, distance, and the courage to walk away. So just to put a bow on this, you don't need drama to find closure. You, my friend, just need to be honest with yourself. So ask yourself, what am I holding on to that no longer fits who I am? What energy do I want to carry into this next season? And who is not invited? Your peace is sacred. Protect it like your favorite purse, with love, with grace, and with intention. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who's done with the one-sided friendships. Subscribe to the podcast and check out the Love Yourself Journal and Master Self-Care Workbook at www.hold-my-purse.com. And remember, you don't need a round trip ticket to walk away from people who don't honor you. So keep your heart full, your energy sacred, and always carry yourself with intention. Until next time, my fabulous friends, love and light. Peace. Today's episode is sponsored by Self Care Shawty, your go-to for homemade skin products that keep you moisturized, healed, and at ease. Discover these amazing products today at selfcareshawty.etsy.com. That's selfcareshawty, SHAWTY.etsy.com.